So can you answer right now, is Tom Brady a cheater?
I don't believe so.
Number 10, Carl Lewis. If everyone's on PEDs, is it really cheating? Well, the Carl Lewis situation in the 100-meter final at the 1988 Olympics was certainly an interesting one.
Johnson in the lead. Johnson's going to win it. Lewis second, and the bronze medal for Linford Christie, and it's 9.79, the world record.
Canada's Ben Johnson initially took home gold in that race, but when he tested positive for a banned substance, he was stripped of his title, leaving the silver medalist Carl Lewis as the winner.
Well, this is the biggest story of the 88 Olympics.
Yeah, and we're getting all attention. If we ride this thing right, we can make a lot of money out of it. We could build a sport, track and field.
Later, it emerged that Lewis had also failed the test, specifically 3 different tests during the trials for that year's games. In fact, the U.S. Olympics and Paralympic Committee was forced to deny that they had covered up 114 different cases of cheating over a 12-year span from that year onwards. Lewis claimed that he accidentally took the banned substances as they were available in over-the-counter medication at the time.
How do you think steroids affected the sport of track and field?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, it put us in the forefront of the drug issue, which I thought was a good thing because it gave us a unique opportunity to try to take the lead in fighting it. But it also put us in a place where people could say, oh, everyone's on it.
Number 9, Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart. You know a play is controversial when the entire game gets named after it.
Me being the competitor that I am, all I could think about was helping my teammate get into that end zone. And so I didn't even think, I just reacted.
For 2005's clash between fierce rivals Notre Dame and USC, the standout moment of the matchup came when future NFL star Reggie Bush pushed his teammate and quarterback Matt Leinart into the end zone for the winning touchdown.
Touchdown, SC!
This was an illegal play. Under any other circumstances, it would have been called a foul. But this year, the use of instant replays was not mandatory for non-conference games in Division 1A football. Needless to say, this controversy made them change that rule the following season.
It is truly a game of inches, and sometimes it comes down to the last second on the clock.
Number 8, East German women swimmers. Going from no gold medals in women's swimming at the 1972 Olympics to then taking 11 out of 13 gold medals in the 76 games seems pretty fishy, right?
Cornelia Ender wins her 3rd individual gold medal. Shirley Babashoff 2nd. In all, here in Montreal, Cornelia Ender has won 4 gold medals.
East Germany dominated the 1976 games in Montreal, despite having strong competition from other nations. Was it simply a golden generation hitting their stride at the exact same time, or was it something more sinister?
Many of the victims are still struggling with the results of taking performance-enhancing drugs.
Well, it would later emerge that the East German government had been running a state-sponsored doping program without letting the athletes know. They basically pumped their athletes full of PEDs and let them deal with the consequences. Sure, their gold medals were never taken, but their greatest achievement was undoubtedly ruined.
Former top athletes like Andreas Kriege live with the fact that their sporting records no longer count for anything, and that their suffering and health problems were all for nothing.
Number 7, Houston Astros. When it comes to modern baseball, it's hard to pull off a sign-stealing trick unless you've got a few people involved.
For years and years and years, it's been up to the pitcher and the catcher to come up with a way to conceal their signs and confuse the runner so that they can't signal to the hitter what pitch is coming.
For the Houston Astros, they must have thought they'd beaten the system with this clever way of cheating. Sign stealing involves taking the pitch signals done by the opposition's pitcher and finding a way of relaying them to your own teammate.
The team holding a press conference to address its role in the sign stealing scandal that has rocked baseball. The Astros accused of using a sophisticated video system and a more primitive code of trash can bangs to alert its batters to which pitches were coming.
But the Astros went as far as to use a hidden camera and prearranged code that involved banging trash cans to communicate with their batter. When this ruse was discovered, none of the players were punished and the Astros got to keep their 2017 World Series title.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions.
Number 6, Antonio Margarito. Antonio Margarito was not the only boxer to be found glove tampering, but he was definitely the highest profile case of his era.
Ya todos saben que usé algo ilegal. Mancharon mi reputación, mancharon lo que yo había.
Whether the fighter himself knew or not, plaster of Paris, a pastry substance that hardens when it comes into contact with water, had been added to his hand wrapping.
Ya cuando pasó eso, entonces ya cuando estaba solo yo pues me hacía miles de preguntas, ¿no? Pero nunca sentí yo mal el vendaje, no sé. Pero yo sé porque soy un peleador limpio.
Prior to his fight with Shane Mosley, Mosley's trainer had noticed something off with Margarito's wrappings and they were investigated further, revealing the plaster. This called into question the results of Margarito's previous fight against Miguel Cotto, where Margarito is suspected to have tampered with his wraps in his 11th round TKO over Cotto.
De demostrar a la gente, no ocupo ningún tipo de argumentos para ganar mis peleas y para demostrarle a todo el mundo boxístico que estoy de vuelta.
Number 5. Dwight Howard. Not all instances of cheating need to be serious or even punishable.
Weird moment with Dwight. Howard comes off the bench, asks for the ball during the Paul Millsap free throw. Looked like he rubbed something on the ball.
For Houston Rockets star Dwight Howard, he found himself in the most bizarre situation imaginable when it came to light mid-game that the game ball was covered in a glue-like substance.
We get a close-up of the ball with a dark, wet spot on it. So that's a second ball taken out of the game.
Shortly after, Howard admitted that he had been applying the adhesive product Stickum to his hands, and he had been doing so for quite some time. Seriously, that is the thing that actually happened. The craziest part, though, is that he wasn't even punished for it despite him breaking the rules.
Officials are saying that Stickum is illegal, and the ball has Stickum on it. And so they're going to have to exchange the ball.
So basically, he got caught, gave a clear confession, and everyone just had a big old laugh about it and moved on as if nothing happened. Number 4. John Jones. The fighting career of the two-weight UFC champion John Jones has been an experience, to put it lightly.
John Jones has regained the throne!
His accomplishments inside the octagon have been truly stellar, and watching him beat several generations of great fighters has been a joy. But his constant issues with substances and legal problems outside of the cage have only been compounded by the fact that he has also failed several drug tests in recent years.
It is important to note that under the UFC anti-doping policy, there's a full, fair, legal review process that is afforded to all athletes before any sanctions are imposed.
To this day, only one win of his, a TKO from his second fight against Daniel Cormier, has actually been overturned. Jones's resume has an asterisk attached, that's for sure.
I really don't know what to say. I'm really sorry about this happening.
Number 3. Tom Brady. Tom Brady achieved everything there was to achieve in the sport of football. But the Deflategate saga is a truly bizarre blemish in an otherwise exemplary career.
Sources telling our sister network ESPN, this is the play that led to the discovery of what is being dubbed Deflategate. This second quarter play has led to many questioning the integrity of the AFC champs.
Brady was accused of telling officials to deliberately give him underinflated balls in his Patriots team's AFC championship game against the Indianapolis Colts, a game they won. But when it emerged that Brady had been using underinflated balls, Deflategate was born.
I feel like I've always played within the rules. I would never do anything to break the rules.
Brady was suspended for 4 games, and upon appeal from Brady, the NFL commissioned a 243-page investigative report. In the end, the 4-game ban was a mere slap on the wrist. The results of the game stood, and this incident is debated to this day.
One judge called the evidence of ball tampering compelling, if not overwhelming.
Number 2. Barry Bonds. Baseball has certainly cleaned up its image in recent times. But right when the sport was at a real commercial peak, a huge doping scandal hit.
756. Bonds stands alone.
Superstar player Barry Bonds was right at the center of it all. 7 MVP awards, 14 All-Star picks, and considered one of the greatest players of all time. In 2007, his reputation began to take some hits.
Barry Bonds rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
From there, we began to realize that he had been taking a cocktail of steroids, at least in the final 8 years of his career. Although he faced legal challenges, he never did get stripped of his achievement. However, the reputational damage was severe.
You made this decision. You went for the greed, you went for the money, you went for the fame.
Number 1. Diego Maradona. The 1986 World Cup quarterfinal contained 2 of the most famous goals in football history, and they were both scored by one man. The goal of the century was as clean-cut as they come.
Diego Maradona picked the ball up in midfield and, with 11 touches in 11 seconds, cemented his status as one of the game's all-time greats.
A surging run by the legendary Diego Maradona that saw him bypass half of the England team before slotting the ball home. It's the infamous hand of God that makes our list.
He gave Argentina the lead in the 51st minute by scoring with what he famously called the hand of God.
Did Diego's hand touch the ball instead of his head? It certainly did. Maradona would deny he used his hand to score the goal for decades. Most importantly, this handball was missed by the ref and the goal stood, setting Argentina on a path to their second World Cup victory.
The Maradona-inspired team would go on to win the tournament with a 3-2 win over West Germany in the final.
Which rule-bending incidents do you remember clearly? Let us know in the comments.
I swear to this day, I didn't know he pushed me in until about 2 minutes later.